1 in 8 women will be diagnosed with breast cancer, but there is reason for hope. I'm Lisa Oligas, and this is Newsmakers. In this edition, we are sharing information about ways you can support local efforts to combat breast cancer by supporting groups that fund testing for early diagnosis. The latest statistics offer hope. When caught in its earliest localized stages, the 5-year relative survival rate is 99%. In 2025, an estimated 316,950 women and 2,800 men will be diagnosed with invasive breast cancer. Another 59,080 will report new cases of non-invasive breast cancer. Early detection can help save their lives, and campus efforts are underway to help fund those. Joining us to discuss a Student Senate fundraising project are MSSU Provost and Vice President of Academic Affairs, Dr. Lisa Toms, and Student Ambassador and Vice President of the Student Senate, Isha Alam. Thank you both for joining us and being here today.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you so much.
So before we get into the efforts of the Student Senate to raise funds and awareness, I want to hear from each of you about the issue of breast cancer, other forms of cancer. With the rate 1 in 8, it seems like it's touched everyone's lives. Why did you want to have something like this? Why are you involved in sort of an effort like this to raise awareness?
This is an effort that I brought to Missouri Southern just because of a history in my family of breast cancer. I had an aunt to pass away from breast cancer, and I've had many friends who have survived, thank goodness. But it's just, we all know someone who has had breast cancer or any other forms of cancer as well. And so when I came to Missouri Southern, I'd come from schools where we had events somewhat like this, and I thought, well, let's make sure that we are making people aware of not just breast cancer itself, but of opportunities to commit to giving and to helping out with making that awareness wider known.
Excellent, yeah. Isha, you're a medical student, so is that driving your interest, or do you also have a personal connection to breast cancer or other cancers?
Yeah, so I'm not a med student yet. I'm a pre-med student, almost there. But yeah, so I have connections in both ways. Previously, in just the past year, my aunt was diagnosed with stage 4 liver cancer, and she passed away within a month. And that just strengthened my interest in working for, cancer awareness, breast cancer awareness specifically, because I currently work in a lab here at Missouri Southern, which is a collaboration between KCU and MSSU, and they're looking at breast cancer at the research level. And so when I became Vice President of Student Senate, Dr. Toms brought this idea to us. I participated in it last year as well, and this year I thought, well, if I'm part of the executive board now, I will want to take it one step further, and I really hope that we can achieve that goal this year.
It takes all kinds of voices, you bet. So you recently had a luminary event on campus to kick off the breast cancer awareness and all of this. Tell us the meaning behind the luminaries.
So the luminaries are just an opportunity for members of the public and our campus community to honor the memory and honestly the effort that a survivor goes through in actually getting treatment for breast cancer. And so for a small amount, a person can actually buy a luminary that's in memory or in honor of someone they know and care about, and just honor them in that way. And then it's also, so the pink luminaries are in honor or memory of a breast cancer survivor or victim. And then we also have the purple luminaries that are in honor and memory of any other type of cancer, because there's so much. Yeah. There's so many different types.
Well, this is an entire month, and then there are other months of the year for other cancers. Isha, tell us some of the other items that you're going to be selling to help raise funds.
Of course. So the main thing that we're bringing on this year is the selling of pink bandanas. And what we're wanting with those is for people to hang those throughout the month on their backpacks, on their purses, their totes, or anything, just to indicate that they're standing in support for people with breast cancer or any other kinds of cancer. We will also hopefully be getting a really cute t-shirt design, which is a pink ribbon combined with the Missouri Southern logo overlaid on top of it. And we think that those are going to be really, really adorable. So please come out and buy those.
Yeah. So when will be the next time that luminaries will be available? You're going to be doing a tabling in October.
Yes. So we will be tabling first week of October, October 6th through 10th, I believe, from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. in Billingsley Student Center. So anyone interested in helping us out, supporting breast cancer survivors, any other cancer, please come by to Missouri Southern and support us.
Yeah. And they're $10 each.
Yes.
Okay. And so let's talk about how you would use the funds. Where are you going to be donating the funds that you raise to try and make an impact?
Of course. So the funds will all be donated to Hope for You, which is a local Joplin Breast Cancer Foundation. And all of the money, if I'm not wrong, goes towards mammograms, and that is breast cancer prevention, of course. We know that, like you said, the statistics are there. If it's caught early, you know, it's very, very high chance of survival. So that's why we're supporting Hope for You.
Yeah, that makes a big difference, early detection. So you have a walkathon planned. Let's talk about that. What's the goal of the walkathon?
Of course. The walkathon is mainly to bring community in from Missouri, from Joplin and from Missouri Southern to support breast cancer and have a little fun event. People can mingle, enjoy, and then also obviously raise money for Hope for You along with all of the other items that we have. The date for that is October 16th, and it's going to be held in the Missouri Southern Billingsley Student Center, but it will be in the rec center, so where the track is on the first floor.
And will we be doing the luminaries again there, having them either outside or inside?
Yes, we will be having the luminary sold there as well.
All right, so many chances for folks to participate in that. Dr. Thomas, why is it important that our students get involved in efforts like this?
We have great students here, and they're already involved in so many things, but a lot of times our interest as adults and their interest as students is really kind of narrow. It's whatever we think is most important at the time, but we actually have learned that by becoming engaged in the external community, our students get a broader understanding of the needs of the world, and it just makes them better citizens. I think it's great. Isha is actually, a pre-med student, so there's a big connection there. The person who helped me with that last year, Devani Patel, was also a pre-med student, but the student senate president this year, Morgan Robinson, is a business major, and of course, business always needs to be aware of their environment and what's important to their constituents, to their clients and customers, and it takes a toll on our economy, it takes a toll on our society when people are having to use resources, time, effort, everything to combat cancer. So it's not just an effect on the patient, it's an effect on the family and the community. And our students become aware of that very quickly through their own family situations.
You bet. And when you have a cancer situation, even though you've survived it, there are lifelong implications. You don't really ever stop being a breast cancer patient.
Right.
So tell me a little bit, Isha, about, from a young person's perspective, why do you think it's important that young women especially also become more aware of this?
Yes, of course. So I think mainly I'm a very numbers person. So looking at the statistics should convince you. Honestly, is my first thing. The fact that it's present in so many women and that there's such a high chance of getting breast cancer is solely enough for young women to care about it. But I think a second, more abstract reason would be that when I saw my own family get impacted by cancer, it was actually my dad's the youngest in his family, and it was his older sister. And when I saw that she was impacted by that cancer, it shook everyone in the family. That was the first of my aunts to die, and it was really upsetting for us. And honestly, those experiences are what drive you, but it's also learning about how common it is, learning about how it could be you. Honestly, I think it's also recognizing that for a young person. Sometimes it's hard for us to gain perspective, but like Dr. Tom said, involving, like for example, my own example, putting myself in these awareness events and working towards these really gives me more understanding of what's going on in terms of breast cancer, any other kinds of cancer.
Yeah, and while it may be more common in women who are over 60, there are women under 45 who can get breast cancer. Breast self-examination is something that is a habit. Mammogram baselines are something women should start younger.
Yes.
So do you feel like it's important that your younger generation gets involved?
Yes, I 100% agree. The young generation should get involved. I'm honestly such a proponent of getting as many people as we can into our events. For example, our event right now, we have a breast cancer committee made of students from all different organizations at Missouri Southern. We have some from sororities. We have actually a couple of fraternity guys as well helping us out, so that's great. And then we have a couple of people from the NMTP chapter on campus, which is a stem cell supporting organization. So we're really bringing in everyone from Missouri Southern to work on this project.
Yeah, it's also nice that we have the KCU connection.
Yes,
exactly.
Well. So how would someone from the community learn more or how to get involved and make a connection with you to learn more about the walkathon and how to sign up?
Of course. So the contact for that.
I think the easiest thing to do would be to contact our Associate Vice President for Student Success, who's also one of the sponsors for Student Senate, and that's Dr. Julie Wingert. And her email address is wengert-j@mssu.edu.
Wonderful. Well, we wish you good luck on all your events during Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and it's great that you're also supporting other cancer survivors and honoring them as well. We appreciate you being here.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
We're going to take a break, and when we come back, we welcome members of Hope for You on the charity supporting women and breast cancer awareness. And we learn how Powder Puff football goes pink for Awareness Month. Welcome back to Newsmakers, where we are talking about Breast Cancer Awareness Month, fundraising efforts, and how those dollars impact women in the 4 states. Joining our conversation now are representatives from Hope for You, Sharon Clark and Brentley Berge, along with the coordinator of a Powder Puff Game fundraiser, Gerardo Martinez, on the Campus Activities Board. Thanks for being here, you all.
Thank you
Thank
for
you for
having
having
us.
us.
Gerardo, I'm going to start with you, talking about Powder Puff. You coordinated a Go Pink Powder Puff AKA flag football game last year. Talk about this event that you're having for breast cancer this year.
So this year we're hosting it November 12th at the stadium. If you guys are not familiar with Fred G. Hughes Stadium, it's on campus. And I wanted to start it last year because at my old high school we used to do it, and I was kind of hoping that like we would have that in college. But when I found out that no one did it, I was like, you know what, let me try it. And so I did. And every year we do a reception, and we have like the Hope for You boards. They come over and they will speak on it. I have Zeta Tau Alpha, the sorority here on campus. They'll come here and talk about what they do. This year we will have a student senate speaker because they are doing a charity event this year. And then I also have a random member on one of the teams come and speak about their experience.
So how many people participate in the game?
Last year we had about 12 to 14 people on each team, so we have about 28 people playing, and then we have about 10, 15 volunteers helping me.
And how does it serve as a fundraiser?
So the way we have it set up is we have raffle prizes, which if you love a good raffle, you know what I'm talking about. We had a gift basket last year. We had if you guys ever seen the movie Wicked, we had movie tickets for that so people could go see it. We had a pickleball set that was pink. And so this year we're going to do this kind of the same thing. We're going to do another raffle basket, which everyone loves a basket. Who doesn't? We're going to do Wicked for Good tickets for the second part of the movie.
Okay.
And then we're also going to have a couple other things. Then we're going to sell T-shirts with the Student Senate and also do some luminaries.
Excellent. So lots of ways to participate and help support the effort. These proceeds go to Hope for You. So Brentley, tell us how that makes a difference for your organization.
It's huge for us because this is our main source of fundraising for our entire organization. So it's people like Gerardo and students in local schools who really put in the effort and make it possible for us to do what we do.
So tell us about how those monies are spent and how much we've raised in the past.
Yeah, so we actually, once we get the funding, we donate it to local hospitals. I think we have, 7 or 8?
7 local hospitals. And then we have Show Me Healthy Women.
And then Show Me Healthy Women. And so those organizations help provide mammograms for either underinsured or uninsured women who wouldn't otherwise be able to get a mammogram.
And Show Me Healthy Women provides gas cards for women to get back and forth to treatment because they run out of money by June. every year. So.
Well, and I want to talk about that. You know, I always ask my guests about their inspiration for supporting breast cancer. Sharon, you are a survivor yourself. Tell us a little about your story, like why it's so important, what motivates you to help.
Early detection is why I'm here. I was lucky I had insurance, but our previous president was 26 when she lost her battle with breast cancer. And so I take it personally. And my goal and the board's goal is to make sure everybody's a survivor. And so that's where we come in to get those mammograms early. And a lot of people say, well, we don't have much to donate. It's not just about donating, it's to make people think, oh my gosh, I gotta get a mammogram. Maybe they forgot. And early detection is the key, and I'll always believe that.
Yeah, and we know it's pretty much all ages. Gerardo, talk to me about your inspiration. What motivates you? Because we don't have a lot of young men saying, hey, go rah rah, I want to support breast cancer awareness.
So I had a couple teachers when I was in high school, they had breast cancer, and I still have a teacher who recently got diagnosed with breast cancer that I had in high school. So like, I know like a lot of people don't, a lot of men probably don't like know, or not gonna say care, but they don't really know how to like interact with that. So like my thing is to like help people who can't like get the help that they need. My grandmother, she never had breast cancer, but she always expressed to me how important that is. I remember when I was younger, she would like go get mammograms and she would tell me how important this is to her and to make sure she does not have it. So it's like I like to be a voice for people who think they don't have a voice and help them get the help they need.
That's awesome.
Why I like to do this.
That's awesome. So ladies, tell me, has Hope For You seen progress in this area? Are you seeing your efforts pay off?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, the more people we have contributing, the more money we get to donate. And so that means more women that get to get those mammograms earlier when they otherwise wouldn't be able to. And like Sharon said, early detection is our main goal. And that's kind of my motivation is, you know, thankfully it hasn't affected me, but it's happening in women younger and younger, and it can happen to anybody. And so I think having that presence on the board of somebody who wants to advocate as a younger woman, I think it's huge.
And we've had people come up to us because we try to have a presence at every event that people put on for us. And we've had people come up and say, I'm so thankful, you know, that I got the mammogram. And so we know personally we have touched lives.
Yeah. Now you guys sometimes give checks more than once a year. Tell us about that process of helping the hospitals. I mean, how much do you typically, how much does it take to make sure that these women get a mammogram?
The hospitals have to report back to us to tell us how many mammograms they did, and all I can tell you is that it's working.
Yeah.
I mean, that they see a difference.
How much do you typically raise each year, and then when you cut those checks, are you giving to the hospitals?
Yeah, it's different each year because it depends on each organization that helps us, but we usually give once in April for April Giving Month. I think it's usually about $7,500 to each hospital, and then $25,000 to Show Me Healthy Women, I believe. So we do that in April, and then we do it again in October.
Those are major donations, though.
Yeah.
Major.
You know, and you're helping a lot of folks. So Show Me Healthy Women has multiple ways of using those funds. You mentioned like driving.
They do gas cards for us.
And then do others like do maybe assisted things like camisoles or any of that?
We don't, our board is solely volunteers, so we don't have the staff to investigate to see how much help you need.
Yeah.
So our money is all given to hospitals and Show Me. But there's other organizations that can do that kind of thing, pay your utilities, pay your rent, get you camisoles, but we don't have that.
Okay.
But it really is a team effort. I mean, all of these organizations raising money, it takes each and every one of us. So the fact that we can fill that gap with the mammograms, it puts more money to the other organizations that can help with that.
Well, every year you have a walk, so you have a big Hope For You walk. Tell us when that is and how people can take part.
Yeah, it's October 19th at 3 p.m. downtown Joplin. It is a come as you are. You don't have to be, trust me, I am not a runner. So you can come, you can celebrate with us. The beginning of the race, we have a moment for survivors and women currently fighting. And when I tell you that is one of the most powerful moments, it's truly, it gives me chills just thinking about it. We have a 1 mile walk, and then we have the run, the 5K run. So you can do either, walk the 5K. It's really, like I said, come as you go and just celebrate women.
You can go on our website, register now. You can register there. You could just come cheer these people on. I mean, to see a woman that has no hair and you can tell she's ill, to cross that finish line and you're there cheering her on, like Brinley said, the chills are unreal.
Yeah. I mean, like you said, cheering on those survivors who they're making it their goal to support others as well, or just be part of this. And it is important to honor those who are even still fighting this. And we're talking earlier with Dr. Toms, talking about how once you have breast cancer, there are things later on in life. I mean, you say you've beat it, but you really may have repercussions in there. It can be a lifelong fight, can it not?
It can, and one of our board members was just diagnosed here recently with breast cancer again.
A second time.
A second time. So it comes back.
Yeah. So it's important to stay on top of it.
Yes.
Do those checks, get those mammograms. Well, we appreciate all that you guys are doing. So remind us again, how can they register in advance on your website?
Yes, it's on our website, or like Sharon said, you can come morning of, where anybody's welcome.
Afternoon this year, it's in the
Oh
afternoon.
yeah, I'm used to it being in the morning,
and
so
when it
you can
starts.
come.
In
You
the
can come
afternoon.
in the afternoon and sign up there as well. So either on our website, our Facebook page, or at the event.
All right. And Gerardo, the football game, Powder Puff.
The football game will be November 12th at 7 p.m. at the football stadium.
Come on out and have fun and be part of it. All right. Thank you all for sharing this
Thank
great
you.
information.
Thank you so
Thank you
much.
so
You're
much.
welcome. We're going to take another break. When we come back, how a campus sorority is doing its part to support breast cancer efforts. Welcome back to Newsmakers. Breast cancer is most common in women around 60 years old, but 9% of all new breast cancer cases in the U.S. are diagnosed in women younger than 45. And women under 35 diagnosed with breast cancer face a higher risk of breast cancer recurrence. So it is important that young women learn about early detection and breast self-examination. Members of an MSSU sorority are doing their part to raise awareness and funds. Joining our conversation are two members of the Zeta Tau Alpha sorority, Chloe Apps, Vice President of Programming and Finance, and Malin Moreland, Vice President of Learning and Development and Recruitment. Welcome, ladies.
Hi.
Thanks for being here. So breast cancer is part of your national mission. So what does that mean for the sorority being part of the national mission?
Being part of the national mission, it feels great to be a part of something so big and something so important, so common, especially in the area. Like we say, 1 in 8 women are diagnosed with breast cancer. So it is super common, and to be able to help raise funds and awareness and education, and not even just for young women and older women, but for men too, for the slight chance that it's a lower chance for men to have breast cancer, but it's still a possibility. So just to be able to educate is the greatest strength that we can have. So just to make people educated and aware is something very powerful for us.
So Zetas all across the country make this their charity in its essence?
Yes, it is our national philanthropy. It's been our national philanthropy for quite some time now. And we have raised a bunch of money as a fraternity as a whole. $1.25 million go to early detection screening using artificial intelligence. And that is fully funded by Zeta. And some other Zetas across the country have also teamed up with the NFL to help raise awareness even during October.
That's awesome. So I know you've held some fundraisers, and you did so last year. We had some photos of that. What will your group be doing this year to raise funds at the football games? Where else?
Yes, we are going to be at the Pink Out football game this year on October 18th. We're going to be setting up a raffle table to do a 50-50 raffle again this year. So we hope to see people there and people interested in education and awareness, and handing out our pink ribbons like always, so we can think pink, think Zeta.
And so where exactly do the funds go that you raise? Do you have to send them to national? How does that work?
So when we raise funds, we send them to our national office. So they take that and they distribute that all over the country into areas that are needed. So like I said previously, whenever we raise that money, most of that is being funded for that early detection screening. And so it's been very beneficial to see where that goes and to know that it's going to such a good cause.
Yeah. So as you said, 1 in 8 women are affected. Most of us know someone who had experienced breast cancer. What motivates you two? Do you have a personal connection to breast cancer, Malin?
Yes, I do. So in 2020, my aunt was diagnosed during the COVID epidemic. So it was quite monumental to our family, because we're going through such scary times, because no one really knew what was going on with COVID. And then also watching her go through something like that, breast cancer, was very emotional. But seeing her, she's now a survivor. She has been 2 years now. And just watching her strive and never lose her smile and doing that was so inspirational to me. So it's very important to tell my aunt's story, and as well as to educate these young women and also my peers across campus that this is a real thing and it can happen to you and your family.
And you talked about education. Do you guys educate through talking about breast self-examination, other ways for young women to be on top of their breast health?
Yes, ma'am. So when we table, Joplin has Third Thursdays. When we table there, we have pamphlets that talk about early detection and stuff like that, as well as how to do your own self-examination. So it has step-by-step, as well as visual representations to help this accommodate all those across the board, so they can I can do this myself. And as well as we have resources available for women and men to go to actual doctors and stuff like that to do their yearly examinations.
Excellent. Chloe, tell us your connection. Why is it so important to you?
My mom's best friend was diagnosed and unfortunately passed away from breast cancer. And seeing what that did to somebody, my mom was very close with her, and my mom is somebody I look up to every single day. She's so strong, and to watch her best friend struggle, I can't imagine. And I felt, at the time, I was really young, and I was like, I can't do anything to help fix it besides wear pink. So, in October, even from a young age, I'm always just trying to make sure to tell people, it's Breast Cancer Awareness Month, you should wear your pink. And so ever since then, I've just really wanted to strive to let people know, how common this cancer really is.
Yeah.
And Zeta has just been such a great platform to do that.
Excellent. Well, good luck to your efforts, and we'll see you at the game October 18th.
We'll see you at the game.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And that wraps up this edition of Newsmakers. We hope you will participate in some way to support breast cancer awareness and fundraising to help women with early detection. I'm Lisa Oligas. Thanks to our guests, and thank you for watching Newsmakers.